I'm going to use this video to lay out, clearly, what story Black Myth, Wukong is telling. Quick note, Black Myth and Journey to the West aren't the same story. Don't judge it only by is it faithful to the novel. I'll also share some of my own takes. If you disagree, let's talk in the comments. The tale takes place after Journey to the West. The Monkey King and his crew got the scriptures. Son Wukong attained Buddhahood. Heaven wanted him back on the payroll, quietly serving as one more heavenly soldier. But he wouldn't be managed. He wanted to return to his mountain and grow old with his troop. Heaven couldn't allow a powerhouse like that to operate outside their line of sight, especially one whose people multiply fast. If that clan grew unchecked, trouble. So heaven both coveted and feared him. Strong is fine, so long as you obey. Even if the great sage meant no harm, the heavens didn't trust him. What the sage and heaven stand for here, that's up to your reading. Heaven then sent troops to raid Huaguo Mountain, pressuring the sage to come back and submit. Erlangshan said, "We fight. If I win, you're coming with me. The rest will level your mountain. If you win, yeah, we level it anyway." Of course the great sage refused, and they fought. Other heavenly generals joined in mid-fight. And when the headband curse tightened, outnumbered and constrained, the sage was split by Erlang's axe and knocked from the heavens. If you watch the soldiers' reflections in the cutscene, you'll see, besides Erlang, the hunters included Black Bear, Yellow Mouse, Yellowbrow, White Eye, and even the Bull Demon King. That's why later, in the Bull Demon arc, Erlang praises those who took part, especially the Bull Demon King for putting duty above kin. Erlang then divvied up 5 parts of the sage: eyes, ears, nose, tongue, and body, as rewards to those fighters. Dirty work shared, favors paid, keeps mouths shut and ranks aligned. End of the prologue. You, the player, control a young monkey, let's call him Little Monkey. The whole story is him, guided by an old wayfinder monkey, collecting 6 roots, 6 fragments of the great sage. Wait, weren't there 5? Eye, ear, nose, tongue, body? Why 6? Hold that thought, we'll get there. Spurred on by the wayfinder's words, Little Monkey sets off to seek the roots. The game has 6 chapters. The first 5 each correspond to 1 root. Chapter 1, defeat Black Bear, recover the eye. Chapter 2, defeat Yellow Mouse, recover the ear. Chapter 3, defeat Yellowbrow, recover the nose. Each chapter also builds a side story around the boss or certain NPCs. They're great, but not critical to the spine of the plot. So I'll skip most here, go dig them up if you like. I do want to dwell on Chapter 4 and Chapter 5, and share a couple of personal reads. In Chapter 4, Little Monkey meets Zhu Bajie. Bajie says the Wayfinder sent him to help find the roots. In his mind, once they gather all 6, his big brother, the Great Sage, can return. They team up and defeat the Centipede King, a massive centipede demon. Here's the twist, the centipede has a sister, a powerful spider spirit, and she turns out to be Bajie's old love. Back when Bajie was Marshal Tianpeng, he admired the beauty of Chang'e. On the way to woo her, he collided with a young spider immortal, and a pig fell in love with a spider. But that pig loved Chang'e, and Chang'e loved Hou. After Tianpeng was banished to Earth, he became a boar demon. Human girls feared and shunned him. Only that little spider still remembered him, recognized him. So a pig and a spider became a pair. Then time passed, the pig grew old. And later he followed Wukong west for the scriptures. When they meet again, the centipede pushes his sister to lure Little Monkey. And yes, she truly wants to see Bajie. The centipede doesn't care if she survives. He just wants the root back. After Little Monkey and Bajie defeat the centipede, the spider is already at the end of her rope. We also meet a little girl who looks strikingly like Bajie, especially the big ears. Yes, *** in Black Myth, Zhu Bajie has a daughter ***. In the original novel he's painted as a flirt, but here they give him outcomes and ties, something to care for. It makes him feel more human. He's always been loyal in his own way. True, His bond with his big brother outweighs his bond with the spider. But when Wukong once told him to silence her, Bajie showed mercy, he let her live. The game underlines that choice. And I really like this take on Bajie. Warm, reliable, able to take hits. And yes, he can tank. Chapter 5 centers on the Bull Demon King and his family. The arc that hit me the hardest. Long ago, before the pilgrimage, Wukong pulled the Bull Demon into a rebellion against heaven. Both were punished and banished. Later, escorting Tang Monk west, Wukong passed through the Bull Demon's territory. And they clashed again. If I were the Bull Demon, I'd be baffled. Bro, you pulled me into that mess. Then you turned around and took heaven's deal? Under coercion, Princess Iron Fan drank from the Zima River, bearing a child, ***red boy***, actually the orphan of the Yiksha clan, raised with the burden of vengeance for his people. The specifics of his tragic origin aren't fully explored here. In short, Red Boy wants revenge. He learns the Bull Demon holds the sage's body root, and schemes to steal it to fuel his vengeance. In the end, of course, he loses to Little Monkey, and fails to take the fragment. Proud and furious, he chooses a fatal end for himself. Since that thread isn't fully developed, I'll leave it there and look at Wukong versus the Bull Demon. After the gods break Wukong, his last words to the Bull Demon are, "Old Bull, you never once chose right." He means, when I dragged you to rebel, you chose to ride the lightning with me. When I took the safe path west, you chose to oppose me and heaven. And now that I've turned on heaven, you choose to join them and take a cut. See? You never choose right. But after the full story, my feeling is, great sage, neither did you. You dragged the Bull Demon into trouble with your pride and recklessness, and both of you were punished. Then, once you had heaven's backing, you flipped the table. On the road west you beat his brother, gave his son away, snatched his wife's fan, and even Bajie killed one of his concubines. Then you told him, bow to my master. Seek enlightenment. It's the only way, whether by choice or pressure. You thought you'd found the right path, and tried to pull him in, while still wrecking his family and taking his treasures. And how did that end? You got the scriptures. But heaven wasn't the freedom you imagined. You couldn't remove the headband. You couldn't go home to Huaguo Mountain. So you rebelled again. Those choices? They were yours too. The Bull Demon is the one who stayed loyal, kept calling you brother. In chapter 6, on the boat to the sage's remains, the Wayfinder monkey says, that monkey was always like this. Saw something good and had to have it. If denied, he'd take it. Strip away the polish. How different is that from Black Bear's greed? Point being, Wukong isn't flawless. No monkey is. Whether a god or a sage, our flaws don't vanish. Desire trips us fastest. Plenty have great skill. Few can carry a great cause. We want comfort and fame, fast fortune and long naps. Focusing on one thing long enough to do it well is already rare. That whole boat speech is loaded. It's worth rereading and learning by heart. The Wayfinder ferries them to a stone monkey statue and reveals the final root, /E. E is first among the six. The unique essence of a life. You can read it two ways. First, it's the spirit, the mind root. Hence the Wayfinder, the great sage is dead, dead. No revival. Second, it's the will, his spirit of defiance. Heaven and earth will raise a fitting successor, a fated heir, to inherit the name and the spirit. Little Monkey's journey of gathering the fragments is the forging of that will. He tempers himself into someone worthy of that power, so he's fit to inherit the great sage's spirit. In the finale, Little Monkey defeats the sage's stone husk, that living dead shell, and claims the last fragment, the E-shard. Form and spirit unite. A new king is born. The stone body of the great sage dissolves. The golden circlet is placed on Little Monkey's head. The end. Feel unfinished? A little unsatisfied? Good. Because this game has multiple endings. The one I just told is the worst, speedrun ending. Now your expectations are anchored. Anything you see next will feel better than this. There are still bits I can't puzzle out. Why does little monkey still accept the headband that's burned him so many times? Why, when the bull demon yields the body root, does the vision show 2 boars? Details like that, plus other endings and rich side quests. I'd love to hear your takes. Personally, I love Black Myth, Wukong. It's a real step forward for domestic PC titles. Here's hoping more studios stay focused and excellent, and keep bringing bold vision and personal voice to the Black Myth team. Thank you, and respect.